Today we will see the use of have. Have is used as an auxiliary verb in the formation of perfect tenses. The present tense forms of have are has and have. The past tense form is had. Has is used when the subject is third person singular. We'll see some examples. I have written to him. He has come. They have gone to Chennai. He has not come. They haven't gone to Chennai. They hadn't met me before meeting you. Have can also be used as the main verb in different senses. It is an anomalous verb when it means to possess. Examples: I have a daughter. Meena has 5 children. You haven't a car. He hasn't a son. They had a car but they sold it last week. Have is used as a regular verb also. Have is not an anomalous verb when it means to experience, to eat, or to enjoy. It is a regular verb or an ordinary verb in these senses. Examples: he is having lunch. They are having a good time. I had my breakfast at 6. He did not have his breakfast. Anomalous verbs cannot be used in the continuous tenses. It is therefore wrong to say he is having a car. We should say he has a car. But you can say he is having lunch because have is an ordinary verb when it means eat. The auxiliary verb do is used to form the negatives and question forms of ordinary verbs. Negatives and questions cannot be formed without using the anomalous finites. And anomalous finites or anomalous verbs must be present in every question and in every negative sentences. Example: Jane is a boy. How we'll form the question is Jane a boy? Negative: Jane is not a girl. Short form: Jane isn't a girl. When there is an anomalous finite in an affirmative sentence, the question form can be obtained by simple inversion. The negative is formed by the addition of not. The short form isn't is used instead of is not in conversation and in informal writing. The full form must be used in the formal writing. Like in essays and articles, you should use the full form. Example: she has seen this movie. Has she seen this movie? She has not seen this movie. Short form: she hasn't seen this movie. Now we'll consider another sentence. Kumar loves Soumya. The verb love is not an anomalous verb. It is an ordinary verb. So we have to use do, does, or did to form questions and negatives in such cases. Does is used in the present tense when the subject is third person singular. Do is used in the present tense when the subject is plural and also when the subject is I. Did is used in the past tense. Examples: Kumar loves Soumya. How will form the question? Does Kumar love Soumya? Kumar does not love Soumya. Negative. Kumar doesn't love Soumya. Doesn't Kumar love Soumya? That is the short form. He went to Chennai. Did he go to Chennai? Negative. How will form the negative? He did not go to Chennai. He didn't go to Chennai. Didn't he go to Chennai? That is a question. They play tennis in every evening. How you form the question? Do they play tennis every evening? Forming negative. They do not play tennis every evening. They don't play tennis every evening. Don't they play tennis every evening? What do we do to get the question form and the negative form of an ordinary verb? First, what we have to do is we have to split the verb using do, does or did. Like loves, does plus love. Went, did plus go. Play, do plus play. We then interchange the subject and the auxiliary verb to get the question. We insert not between the auxiliary and the main verb to get the negative. Example, Kumar loves Soumya. Kumar does love Soumya. Does Kumar love Soumya? Kumar does not love Soumya. Do is also used as a main verb. When do is used as a main verb, it is an ordinary verb, not an anomalous verb. Example, they never do any work. What shall I do after retirement? He does a lot of work. She's tired because she did a lot of work last night. I did what I could. Do, does or did is used as an auxiliary verb along with the main verb do in the following sentences. Examples, did you do your homework? I did not do my homework. Does she do her work properly? If you do not do your work properly, you will be dismissed. If you do not do your work properly, you will be the first do you will be dismissed. In that, the first do is the auxiliary verb and the second do is the main verb. In the first three sentences, that is, did you do your homework? I did not do my homework. Does she do her work properly? In the first three sentences, did and does are auxiliary verbs and do is the main verb. Next is can, could, may and might. Can is used to indicate ability. I can do this sums. He can speak English fluently. May is used to indicate permission. May I go for a film this evening? You can go. It is to grant permission. Can is also used corresponding interrogative and negative sentences also. It may rain this evening. He may be at home. Can this be true? It cannot be true. Cannot denotes impossibility. May not denotes improbability. Now we will see the differences between cannot and may not. It cannot be true. That means I am sure that it is not true. It may not be true. Means it is not likely to be true. There is of course a possibility that it may be true. And I don't deny that possibility. May is used to express a wish in formal English. Examples, may you live happily. May God bless you. Could and might are past tense forms of can and may. Examples: I could climb trees when I was a boy. The headmaster said that I could go. Leela wondered whether it could be true. Could cannot always be used as a past equivalent of can, expressing ability. Can means it is able to, could was able to. We cannot replace was able to by could in every context. When we are dealing with a specific achievement in the past, we should use was able to or were able to. Could is used to denote the possession of ability in the past. Could should not be used to denote a specific achievement. Examples: I was able to climb this tree last Saturday. We were able to win the cup last year. He was able to reach the station in time yesterday. Could and might are used in present time context to indicate that the speaker is hesitant or that he is not sure of the possibility of what he is saying. Example: I could attend the party. That means I am not sure whether I will be able to attend the party. It might rain tomorrow. That means I don't think it will rain tomorrow. It is unlikely to rain tomorrow. There is only a slight possibility that it may rain tomorrow. Could is also used for polite request. Example: could you lend me your pencil for a minute? Might is sometimes used to express dissatisfaction. Example: you might pay a little more attention to your studies. That means you are not paying proper attention to your studies and I am not satisfied with your progress. Now we will do a recap of can, could, may and might. Can is used to indicate ability and to indicate permission in conversational English. May is used to denote possibility in affirmative sentences. May is also used to express a wish in formal English. Can, cannot denotes impossibility. May not denotes improbability. Could can be used as a past equivalent of can, but it cannot always used as a past equivalent of can, expressing ability. Could is also used, it means was able to, and it is used to denote the possession of ability in the past. And could cannot be used, could should not be used to denote a specific achievement. Could and might are used in present time context to indicate that the speaker is hesitant or that he is not sure of the possibility of what he is saying. Could is used for polite request. Might is sometimes used to express dissatisfaction. That's all for today. We'll see in the next video. Please like and subscribe Travel Treats for more updated videos.